What's up, Toronto Raptor fans? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, I know you missed me. This West Coast trip is just messing me up. I'm trying to get up earlier with this new 2023 year and staying up late to watch these games. I mean, a couple of them. Anyway, it's disorganized. I got personal stuff. There's birthdays happening in my life, and it's all just causing total chaos. So, anyway, apologies, but Raptors, Raptors, Raptors. What has been going on? Well, we had a couple of good games. One in Portland, one in Sacramento. Maybe we went down to Golden State because of the OG injury. And then sadly tonight we lose to Chris Paul. Actually, I should say Miles Bridges and the Phoenix Suns. Because, man, Bridges, wow, what the heck, man? That guy was hitting everything. Chris Paul's annoying. Dagger three at the end of the first half to put them up by three because it was tied. Or sorry, that was at the end of the first quarter. End of the first quarter. I think it was 28-28. Then, yeah, he hits three to put them ahead. Dagger. And dagger at the end of the fourth quarter there. It was back and forth. You know, pretty much whoever was scoring was up by one. And, man, we didn't get the rebound on one of the plays. I don't know who. I don't think it was Bridges that grabbed the replay. It was or grabbed the rebound. It was another taller guy, but dished it out to Chris Paul, who just nailed it. Killed us. I think that made it 106. Hold on, I actually jotted that one down. Yeah, it was 110 to 106. Um, anyway. Or no, sorry, I'm lying. That made it 102 for the Raptors to 106 for Phoenix. Anyway, yeah, this game. Just clicking over. The final was 112, 106. Raptors, Raptors, Raptors. I mean, listen, it was encouraging. It was encouraging because what is going on? Everybody in the league, everybody in the know, everybody on ESPN, everybody on Fox, they're talking about the Raptors being the team, the domino that's going to fall during the trade deadline coming up on the 9th, I believe, of February. So, what, we're like, I guess tomorrow, no, tomorrow's 31st. So, yeah, we're like 10 days away from the trade deadline. I was at poker night on Friday watching the Raptors fall apart against Golden State. Didn't end up getting home. Snow was cuckoo, so sorry, no video that night. I ended up having to crash over there, but there was an interesting conversation at the table about what the Raptors should do. What are we looking to do? What would be the best opportunity for us? And a person that I didn't check yet, hopefully they've subscribed to the channel, was saying that we should trade Gary Trent Jr. And he wanted Gary Trent Jr. for Jakob Poeltl, but not direct. I guess there was a three-team option here because it's the San Antonio is looking for 2 first rounds to get Jakob. And so he was saying, yeah, we trade Gary Trent to this third team. They give the 2 first to San Antonio, and we get Jakob Poeltl. I still do not understand trying to get rid of Gary Trent Jr. I mean, even in the game today, he was, I'll check out the points a little bit because I want to even comment on what Miles Bridges ended up with at the end of the game because, man, that guy just killed us. Especially, I mean, there's no Booker in this game. We should be winning these games. The Raptors have been lucky to have the star player out for the other team, and we still are sitting in whatever the heck we are, 12th. It's brutal. Brutal. But anyway, yeah, so I mean, I like the idea of Jakob Poeltl. Actually, we don't have a proper center tonight. We had Precious Achua playing in there, trying to cover Aiton. He's just not tall enough. Poeltl is a great defensive player. He's averaging 12 a game. A lot of those are probably not plays run for him. I would imagine he's getting putbacks, cleaning up the glass, that kind of thing. And I remember that Jakob Poeltl is buddies with Pascal Siakam. They were both drafted in the same year. We picked Poeltl 6th, and I can't remember exactly where Pascal came in, 27th, I think, something like that. Yeah, they came in the first season together and became fast friends. I I've said it a couple times on here. First time I ever heard Pascal Siakam was on Prime Time with Bob McCowan, and both him and Jakob Pertl were in the studio, and you could just tell they were friends. And I've heard Pascal comment that they're friends. So let's grab that guy back. Be a perfect fit. But I don't think we should give up Gary Trent Jr. I don't know why we don't just give up 2 firsts. But what are we doing? Are we going for it this year? Do we tweak the team and go for it? Please hit me in the comments. Let me know what you guys think we should do. Should we go for it, or should we just, you know, tank? Let's get Victor Wembanyama or Scoot Henderson or whoever the heck else. There's some twin guys that are supposedly awesome as well, I think, in the draft this year. So, it's pretty deep, everyone's saying. Obviously, a lot of that is speculation. Who knows? And they're probably trying to drive some hype for the draft in the summer. But obviously, Victor Wembanyama is a generational player. This guy's 7'4" with shoes on. I mean, and who can dribble and hit threes. I've already ran over some of his stats in one of the previous videos. So, I mean, if we could get him, but the odds, sadly, I would hate to tank and then end up, getting the 6th pick or the 7th pick. I mean, we got lucky and got 4th when we did the Tampa tank. Ended up Scotty Barnes, who has been playing much better of late. But yeah, I don't know. I so much so actually that I think that he could be our ball carrier, ball handler, primary guard. Looking to distribute. The guy's got some vision, man. He's got Magic Johnson, LeBron James esque ability to pass. It seems. I mean, he's in year 2, and he's been cleaning up his turnovers and everything. In January, he's had multiple games over 20 points, and seems to be just putting in the effort. But that was the sad thing about this game. I think the Raptors put in effort. They seemed to come out. First half was not great, but they ended up, only down by 3. They were sort of tied at the end of the first quarter, but that Chris Paul shot with nothing on the clock ended up putting them up by 3. But, we didn't play that great in the first quarter, so to be only down by 3 wasn't that bad. And we came out in the third quarter and outscored them 30-21. Really got ourselves, back in the game in a major way. And then, sadly, we just fell apart at the end. Can't totally blame the Raptors, but it's the plays that end up, we don't have that guy that can hit a 3. I mean, you look at Phoenix, they've got multiple guys that they can dish the ball to, and they're all going to drain them. We've got Scotty Barnes hesitant to hit him. In fact, he ended up taking one late there, totally banked it off the rim. You got Pascal Siakam with the ball out in the key, but he's not going to turn and fire a 3. I mean, he hits some threes, and he's getting way better at his threes, but, he's going to dribble in and try and do a spin, and do something at the rim. We just don't have that threat. And then we did find Gary Trent open for one. He clanked it, and then Mr. Van Vliet couldn't get open and get anything going, and they did a really good job on defense at the end there. There was an inbounding play where they obviously, even the commentators were saying they took away our first and second option and ended up going to Precious Achiuwa, who broke away, and then he couldn't dish the ball. I think that might have been the one that he passed it out to Scotty Barnes for a 3, but there wasn't much time left on the clock, and he had to force it up and didn't get it. So what do we do? Yeah, I think it obviously depends on what the heck we can get out there. And it really does depend on what's really going on in the locker room, because, if this stuff's true that OG's not happy, probably let's move the guy. You don't want disruption in the locker room. You don't want somebody unhappy. I think OG's great. I think he's got tons of potential. He still does some weird stuff at the rim when he gets punked off when you don't expect it. There's other times that he, goes up and just power dunks it or whatever. He can get it off the glass, and he's great at threes when he's hitting them. But if he's disgruntled, let's move him. Maybe tank a little bit and then see what we can do in the draft. But I'd hate to have a Van Vliet, if he thinks that we're in a rebuild and then, he's going to opt out of his contract and be a free agent, and it would really suck to lose him for nothing. So I'd move him too. I'd go ditch OG, ditch Fred Van Vliet, try and get Zach LaVine or somebody out of Chicago for Van Vliet. Try and OG, they're saying we can get a bunch of picks, so sure, let's grab a bunch of picks and maybe somebody that is serviceable. If somebody out there that could maybe come off the bench and hit a three, because then I might flip one of those first round picks or two, over to San Antonio and get Jakob. Then, we play out the season with Jakob Pertl at center, Pascal Siakam at power forward. What do we got? We would have, I'm trying to think of who the heck did I not trade away. Scotty Barnes is going to be our point guard. Then we have Gary Trent Jr. as our shooting guard. So then, we can have Precious in there as the small forward. Imagine that lineup. That is a great, long, tall, powerful lineup. And then our bench gets a little weaker, but we get somebody that can shoot threes to come off the bench. Malachi is not horrible. Thad Young can still play another year or two, and then we just force Boucher to get better, and maybe that's the team. I mean, Hernan Gomez, it's been pretty sad. We get rid of. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? I swear I was just about to say his name and it jumped out of my head. Oh, he went to the Nets and he was leading threes. And Yuta Watanabe, Jesus. We give up on Yuta, and he ends up lighting it up in the Nets. And then we go and grab Hernan Gomez from, his movie debut. The guy's been brutal. So let's just quickly. I don't want to lose you guys, but I know some people tune out when I check some stats. I'm going to try to not. I never have wanted to be just a stat recap channel here, but just quickly to go over it. Oh wow, actually Van Vliet ended up leading all the Raptor scorers with 24, but yeah, Scotty Barnes 16, Gary Trent 21. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about with Gary Trent. We can't lose this guy. There's only 3 for 10 from 3. That could definitely improve, but Van Vliet was 2 of 8. I mean, that's where we got killed. We're talking about 33 attempts. We hit 9, 27%. Ouch. And then those guys, 39.3%. And really, I only wanted to go to stats to check out one guy on their team, Mikal Bridges. Look at this guy. Shot 63% from the floor, 75% from 3. He was 3 of 4. This guy killed us. 29 points. Jeez Louise, 29, Mikal Bridges. But that's the kind of guy that we need. We need a Mikal Bridges. We need, he did start in this game because probably filling in for Booker. But this guy's coming off their bench usually, and he can put up numbers like that. Raptors. And then the last little bit I'm going to chime in on, because I'll probably go a little more in depth on the trade deadline stuff as these next few games play out, because Woj is on ESPN saying that depends on how this road trip goes. Now we're 2-2. I saw the Lowe post, also Zach Lowe, saying that same thing, basically, that the Raptors are the key to the trade deadline, and what they end up doing, what they end up trying to get rid of, and who they end up getting for it could really set the table for the rest of the NBA. I totally agree. But yeah, I was going to comment just quickly here before we go on Mr. Nick Nurse. There's been, I saw a little blurb out there a couple times that Nick Nurse's, tenure as the Raptors head coach could be in jeopardy, possibly, depending on what goes on here in the back half of the season. And I can't agree more. Nick Nurse, I think, is a brilliant guy. But it seems like maybe he's a little bit of a dick behind the scenes. And, Popovich gets a lot of credit for being brilliant. But a lot of the players that break out of the Spurs will talk to the fact that it's like a cult there, and he's, just an authoritarian. It's his way or the highway. And I feel a little bit like Nurse has a similar style, There's players that are disgruntled, supposedly. There's, stuff going on behind the scenes, and I don't understand the minute minutes that he gives out, we don't seem to progress, and he doesn't seem to be able to. Not that his job necessarily to develop these guys. I know they've got to practice and get better, but when there's such inconsistency with minutes going on, I don't know. He leans too much on his starters. I think we've got some talent on the bench that could be developed. I think he's got Malachi Flynn's head all screwed up. I think he had Gary Trent too in a mess. He chirps at Boucher. Supposedly, Boucher, I've heard him comment saying that he needed it. And towards the end of last year, it certainly seemed like it, but I don't know. Boucher has not been able to pull it together this season. Precious has improved. Pascal seems to like him. So, and he certainly gets along with Van Vliet, but I'm thinking, the Raptors need to bet on themselves and maybe move off Mr. Van Vliet and OG, like I said. So anyway, I don't know. Please comment. Tell me what you guys think about what the Raptors should do. Should we, and even just as simple as, do we just tank and go for a pick and try and get rid of a few guys? See what we can get in return, and hope the draft and everything goes well, and maybe the offseason we grab somebody in free agency, like another Otto Porter Jr., Bustorama in our offseason signings, sadly, or do we try and make some trades to turn this thing around and go for it in the back half? I mean, I'm not sure we have a championship caliber team, but you never know. We all remember the Raptors when they began their sort of ascent to the championship. We were brutal, and we traded away Rudy Gay. We barely got anything in return, but suddenly, for some reason, him leaving just freed up our offense, and DeMar and Kyle kind of got things going, and then we had some decent players that joined the team, Valanciunas, etc. Obviously, Pascal and Jakob. We had the bench mob going for a little while there, but things just really turned around. So maybe we could get some kind of addition by subtraction here, and be forced to, twist up the lineup. But yeah, I don't know. It's possible that we need to move like a Hernan Gomez or somebody like that too, and we can get maybe a couple people off the bench. Because just quickly, not that I want to go back to the box score, but Hernan Gomez, 7 minutes and 25 seconds, and he has nothing but zeros. Sorry, he had one steal. That's right, he did have a nice steal, almost right when he came in, but then that's all he did. One personal foul. He's a -8. That's just not good enough. And Koloko has nothing but zeros. He was only in 2 minutes and 25 seconds. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Let me know. What do you guys think? I'm leaning towards a combo. I'm leaning towards set yourself up for next year. Let's move some pieces out, get a few picks, and try and focus on signing Gary Trent Jr. for 2024. That's what I'm saying. So let me know. Do you agree or not? And yeah, please subscribe, and actually it's going to pop up any second here now, and I'm not sure that I'm going to get it right, but check out the Raptors in black and white over here, and subscribe over here. Thank you very much.